Berlin. Roy Moore's defeat in the Tuesday special election may have come as a relief to liberal Americans, but in Europe it was taken as a sign that the United States has not totally lost its moral compass. The 2016 election victory of President Trump, who is deeply unpopular across Western Europe, appears to have severely damaged the United States' status as a role model in Europe. Democrat Doug Jones' victory over Moore, a Republican who was dogged by allegations of sexual misconduct involving teenage girls decades ago in Alabama's special election to fill a U.S. Senate seat, was interpreted by many in Europe as a reversal for Trump and a sign that all is not lost across the Atlantic. In Europe, the Alabama election result was widely seen as a notable setback for President Donald Trump, in the words of France's liberal Liberation newspaper. Its center-left competitor Le Monde declared the result a referendum about Trump's political agenda, and Britain's Financial Times agreed that it was a big blow for Mr. Trump. That sentiment was perhaps most pronounced in Germany, where confidence in Trump has been even lower than in France and Britain. The center-left German weekly Die Zeit framed the defeat as the miracle of Alabama. But the relief was not limited to liberal media outlets. Writing in the conservative German newspaper Die Welt, Clemens Wergen said that the victory of Jones shows that America has changed since Trump's election. Whereas many voters did not take the sexual assault allegations against Trump seriously ahead of his victory last year, there appeared to be a growing awareness this time around that defied partisan lines, Wergen wrote. Many people in Alabama want to send a message to the world: America is still able to show a tolerant and cosmopolitan face, wrote January Philip Burgard, a U.S. correspondent with the German public TV station ARD. Germany and Britain have long considered themselves close allies of the United States, but leaders here are finding it increasingly difficult to work with a U.S. president who has repeatedly lashed out at them and is deeply unpopular among European voters. Trump's low approval ratings in Europe have defied partisan lines. Not only liberals but also many conservatives here have viewed his remarks about banning Muslims, building a wall and pulling out of climate and trade deals as populist and divisive. Europe is also struggling with a populist, right-wing resurgence of its own that has made electoral inroads in recent years in countries such as Hungary, Poland, and Austria, not to mention a second-place showing in France's presidential election. While the populist right remains restricted mostly to the political sidelines, it was encouraged by Trump's victory. Moore's defeat was also interpreted as a sign of a revival of decency in the United States. Alabama's voters have proved that politics is not just about party interests but decency and morality as well, commented Alexandra von Neumann, head of the German broadcaster DW's Washington bureau. DW is funded by the German Foreign Ministry but operates independently.